I'm Wendy.
I'm Steve, and this is Pippin.
And together we're the Happy Travellers.
Well, this week we want to tell you about a few things. We bought a charger too from Bluetti. That's been a bit of an issue. We've bought 3 new solar panels to go on the roof. They're looking good, but I just need to get around to fitting them. So that's going to be in the next week or so. And we want to talk about poor little Pippin. So let's dive in and start to tell you about how things are going. Well, you can do all the research you want, but it's when it comes down to practice that it really counts. I did a lot of research and I bought 3 215 watt solar panels. 2 are destined to go at the back of the motorhome and 1 towards the front. So one of those 215 watt solar panels is going to go to charge up the power station. Now, what I wanted to do was have a quick way of charging the power stations up. So I looked around and the charger, Bluetti Charger, seemed to be the right way to go. And then I saw the Charger 2, because I thought, well, if you just put solar panels into there, you have to take the cable out and plug in another cable for the DC charger. But the Charger 2 allows you to have a DC to DC charger and solar panels going in to the Charger 2 all the time. So the Charger 2 is a DC charger connected to, they recommend the starter battery, but my research told me I could just connect it to my leisure battery, 300 amp hour Fogstar Drift Lithium battery. I thought, great. And I'd seen a few videos that had done that and it was working successfully. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just connect it up and have done with it, and I'll just leave the factory settings. Didn't work. So I, read a bit, looked at what settings should be, and yesterday I managed to get it working when the engine was running. So it seemed that the lithium battery, the standard leisure house battery, voltage was too low, 13.2. Should have been high enough, but apparently it was too low. So I had to reset a few bits and pieces, and I got it working. And it was charging with the engine running. It was put in from the Victron Orion, from the starter battery to the leisure battery. It was putting in 20 amps, I think, something like that. Usually puts in 50. But from the leisure battery to the Charger 2 to the Bluetti E200, it was putting in 540 watts. So set to 560 maximum. So I thought, great. And it really, in 15 minutes, it put about 10% back in, 15%, I think, something like that. So really, really great. And I thought, oh, well, while we're driving, that'll just give that a big boost up. Still get charge up for the house battery off the Orion. We're going to have 430 watts of solar on the roof, charging up the house battery as well, and 215 watts of solar on the roof, permanently charging up through the Charger 2, the Bluetti E200. Sounds like like a dream solution, doesn't it? Well, I've driven out today because we come to do some laundry. Driven out, and to my surprise, the Charger 2 is not charging the Bluetti. It was yesterday. It was doing it yesterday. There was no problems. It was just working. I had it running for about 15 minutes, just to, see what would happen. Nothing got hot, nothing burnt out, no fuses blown. It all worked perfectly. Today, no changes whatsoever, not working. And no matter what I do, I've factory reset, gone back through, set it all up the same again, switched it all off, disconnected it, done all the bits and pieces. It just won't charge. So I think I'm going to have to sort of bite the bullet, as it were, and connect it to the starter battery. So the Charger 2, designed as a DC to DC charger, but for portable power stations like the Bluetti. So, and it works best apparently if it's connected to lead acid starter batteries. So I think we have to bite the bullet and do that. I've got the alternative solution as well, but just connecting the 12 volt and charging up if I need to. I've got more than one power station, so I could use the 12 volt cable just to charge up the S2000 Pro and just leave that permanently on charge, because that'll just suck power out of the house battery at 100 watts. But it'll be getting lots of solar off the roof to keep it nicely topped up. It might turn out to be a great solution, but I need to get the Bluetti Charger 2 connected up to the starter battery. I've had a look. It looks very complex. There's all these, and there's no obvious place to connect it. So I'm probably going to pay somebody to do it, an auto electrician, just to take the leads and connect it up, and that's it, done. So there we are. But let me show you. I've got 3 solar panels I bought, which might allow me to get rid of some of the portables. I've got a 200 watt portable, 400 watt portable, and I've got a 100 watt suitcase solar panel that we've had for ages, years. Still works, but that's got an included charge controller. So I used to use that to connect to the Comanche leisure batteries, which worked really well. Yeah, because we had 200 watts of solar on the roof. That other 100 watt solar panel really gave it a big boost. But let me show you. This is the 400 portable from All Powers. Probably don't need to see that. It's huge. Stretches from about here down to the fridge vent when it's out. I'll put it right along there, connected to that. But we've also got these fuses. I haven't even opened these yet. I don't want to open them up too much. They're just solar panels with metal frames, solid. So I've got 3 of those. They're 215 watt. One on this side of the bedroom vent on the roof, one on the other side of the bedroom vent, which means I've already got a 100 watt solar panel where this would go. So I'm going to move that. So I'm going to take those fittings off, move it slightly forward so that I can fit this in. There's a lot of work to do, but we're well on our way. You might have noticed I've bought Victron Blue Solar. We've had them before. They're really good, very efficient. Got a 25-year guarantee. So yes, they were a bit more expensive. They were £117 each. So not that bad, It's like 350 quid for 3 of those panels. So that was okay. But we've got other things going on. So let's tell you about those.
Well, I thought I'd give you a little update on Pippin. She's got Cushing's disease. She's 11 and a half years old, and Cushing's disease is getting the better of her. But we knew this would happen. Despite all the medication and tests she's had, all you can do is keep them comfortable. And she is comfortable at the moment, though her world is getting smaller and smaller because she gets so very, very tired. But she enjoys going out in her pushchair, and she loves her food. So we're happy as we are at the moment.
So thanks so much for watching and staying with the video for that long. We are worried about Pips, but as Wendy says, she's happy enough. She still does a lot of licking.
Yeah.
But, you know, we keep her comfortable.
Yes.
And, you know, she's not
suffering
in too
with
much
pain.
trouble, is
No,
she?
not in any pain or anything.
No,
So
no.
that's the main thing.
But there she's still quite alert, but very sleepy a lot, isn't she? Yeah.
She does sleep a lot.
But
yes.
yeah. Be like we are. We had a big day out yesterday, which
took the wind out of our sails, didn't it?
took the wind out of ourselves. We're recovering from the amount of alcohol we consumed yesterday, but we're doing all right, aren't we?
Yeah.
We managed to get out of bed this morning. That's good.
Yeah.
Always a good sign.
It's the older you get, I think. The
well,
years ago would be nothing what you drink,
plus
but now
we don't drink
no.
on a regular basis or frequent basis, so we're not always drinking. And I know from past experience, if you drink a lot more often, you become immune to the effects of alcohol. In terms of your recovery time, you can recover a lot quicker. You know,
You can sleep.
I used to go out, you know, on work dues. You could go out till 11, 12 o'clock at night and still be back in the office for 7 o'clock the next morning. No problem. But that was years ago. A lot of years ago, half a life ago actually. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we're going to see you again in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.